I did the 21-day dribbling challenge program to see if I could be a better dribbler, and you know what? It kind of worked. Stick around to see how you can become a better dribbler, too. Also, I'm Jordan, but some people call me Prez. I'm usually behind the camera shooting, but Andrew challenged me to practice my dribbling for the next 21 days straight using the Boost methodology for training. I accepted, and, well, here I am. Let's get into it. Let me start from the beginning. I've never been much of a dribbler. I grew up thinking people who were good dribblers were ball hogs, showboaters, and had big egos. I also didn't think they were very good teammates because they always asked for the ball but never passed it back. And because of that, I didn't want to be like them. So I focused on other parts of my game, like being accurate at passing, having a good first touch, hitting a dime of a long ball into the space of my teammate, slide tackling, shooting, and trying to be as physically fit as I could. All great attributes that a decent player needs, but deep down, I always wanted to have the confidence to take players on. I realized I had made a lot of excuses for not practicing dribbling because it was actually really hard. Eventually, it didn't matter how well I passed the ball because since I wasn't much of a good dribbler, I'd never be able to create the space that I needed for myself or my teammates. And I'd always just be an okay player. I mean, my dribbling could use a lot of work, especially nowadays. Wow, that's so bad. Yeah, that's definitely not good. But this is good. The older I got, I realized that being a better dribbler didn't necessarily mean that you're an egomaniac or a ball hog. See, some of the best dribblers in the world are the ones who beat defenders and create just enough space for their teammates to then dish the ball off so their teammate could score. In some scenarios, taking a defender on and beating them is considered a courageous act, whereas the cowardly thing to do would be to be too afraid to take someone on and pass the ball backwards, which I would often do to my coach's dismay. Stupid. But every once in a while, I would pull off these one moves that would absolutely blow my mind and would get me out of any tricky situation. Like I wouldn't even know what I just did, but it was amazing. Like my brain just turned off and my feet just took over. I always considered that luck, which I could never recreate, so I guess in a way it was kind of lucky, right? Like La Croqueta, for example. In a game or training session, I'd do La Croqueta, and all I knew was the move I just did was super effective and got me around a defender and into space. But I had no idea what I just did. It just happened. Literally, only 4 years ago, 22 years into my soccer playing career, did I learn what it was called, what it looked like, and how to practice it. I promise you, I'm getting to the point. So earlier this year, I thought to myself, you know, I always wanted to be a better dribbler. I wonder if I committed 30 minutes or so a day, a time limit I thought was reasonable, and do different dribbling drills consistently for the next 21 days, if that would move the needle at all. Could I really become a better dribbler in just 3 weeks? I learned early on in life that if you dedicate a little bit of time each day, consistently over the course of days, weeks, months, and even years, your efforts will compound and you could crush any achievable goal you set. That theory should also apply to dribbling, right? I mean, I played college soccer and still play regularly, even at 30 years old. Shh, nah, you didn't hear that right. Between playing high-level small-sided pickup at least 2 to 3 times a week and 11v11 adult Sunday league on the weekends, I could measure if I was actually getting better at dribbling by not only feeling as if I was, but also seeing it play out in legit soccer scenarios, especially on camera. A VO camera, that is. More on that later. Listen, I'm a realist, but I'm also a dreamer. I've got a growth mindset, which is very important. I know I might be older than some of y'all, but I know that this old dog can absolutely learn some new tricks. And with a little belief and dedication, I truly believe that you can accomplish way more than you think. So with all that, I had a clear goal. I wanted to become a better dribbler. But what did that mean to me exactly? It meant that I not only would have more confidence on the ball, but I would take more chances and be willing to take people on versus passing the ball or not asking for the ball in tight situations. It also meant that I would actually succeed in beating someone 1v1 when I did take them on and creating space for myself when surrounded by defenders. I then needed to make sure that I believed in my abilities in achieving my dribbling goal. Basically, I needed to make sure that my goal wasn't too lofty or out of my wheelhouse, which I didn't think it was. Since I've accumulated enough soccer skill and knowledge over the years, I knew if I put in the work, I could probably pull it off. Although dribbling isn't my forte, I've at least gotten by for years. I wasn't starting from complete scratch. I knew that my goals matched my abilities. Next, I needed to make sure that I devoted the necessary time, effort, and dedication to the craft of dribbling in order to achieve my goal. I had made sure that I was willing to commit at least 30 minutes a day, sometimes longer, over the next 21 days just on my dribbling. Showing up every day would be key to my success. Lastly, I needed a program. And not just any program, something made for individual training sessions that I could do by myself. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You'll notice we have a ton of resources for covering the basics of dribbling, passing, and some showboat skills that you can do all by yourself. So I have a good foundation to work off of, but I knew I had to go more in depth with this program. Despite playing college soccer and doing hundreds of drills and sessions over the years, unfortunately, they were all developed around team training versus individual training. So leading up to the 21 days, I spent hours on YouTube and the internet, watching some of the best dribblers out there, and broke down their movements and skills so that I could build out drills and training sessions I could do by myself each day. That part took much longer than I expected, but it was an important part of the process because I needed a program to work off of that was trackable and replicable. Plus, I didn't have enough brain power or soccer knowledge to just show up to a field and improvise. I needed structure. A clear goal? Check. Belief in my abilities? Check. Necessary dedication and proper time allocated to work towards my goal? Check. And lastly, a 21-day dribbling challenge program built out with cones, ball work, and over 80 drills that'll help me get better? Check. Now it's time to get down to business and to do the dang thing. Let's get after it. And just like that, the 21-day dribbling challenge was over. It was time to see if I had made any progress. All right, somebody cut the lights and roll these dang highlights. Those are some good highlights. So what's my verdict? Did I really achieve my goal in becoming a better dribbler in 21 days? And if so, what did I learn from all of this? The short answer is, yes, I definitely did. I had way more confidence on the ball than when I started. I was able to create more space for myself, and I beat way more defenders in a 1v1 situation than I ever did before. And in my eyes, a smashing success. Long answer, like I said earlier in this video, putting in the work every day, even if it's for a short amount of time, really helps. Did I become the next Messi, Ronaldo, or Sam Kerr? No, absolutely not. They've been putting in this kind of work hours a day, every day in and day out since they were kids. There's no way I'd come even close to where they're at nowadays. The whole purpose of this challenge was to give proof that consistent practice works. I'm sure you've heard of the 10,000 hour rule or the 1% a day rule, right? The idea of showing up every day, putting in the work, and you'll slowly get better until one day you look back at how far you've come and realize you're miles ahead of where you started. That was the whole idea of this challenge, was to take those phrases and put them in a real world example to show proof that it really works. Was I perfect at doing these drills? Nope. And did I mess up a lot? You bet. Get frustrated? Yep. Did I trip over the ball, hit a bunch of cones, and then launch the ball over the net? Yeah, I did that a lot more than I like to admit. Did I cry? Wait, did I cry? Listen, all that to say is I was far from perfect when I first started off this challenge, but I stuck with it, even when it was cold and rainy and I wasn't feeling it at all. I kept it up and I improved a little bit every day. Consistency was key. Sure, some of the attributes I talked about earlier aren't as easily measurable or overtly obvious when you're looking at the footage of me playing, but I began to notice that even after a few days of putting in the work, I could truly feel myself getting better and being more confident on the ball. Remember, this was only 21 days, 3 weeks of work, showing up for 30 minutes a day. If I were to do this for, let's say, another 3 weeks, or 3 months, or consistently for a full year, imagine the player I'd become. What if I started this when I was 9, or 11, or 16, and kept it up all the way until I was 30? The possibility of outcomes are endless. Dedicated practice and showing up every day compounds over weeks, months, and even years. It's the secret sauce to becoming a really good player. There's no guarantee on where you're gonna end up, but if you take nothing else from this video, remember this. If you focus on consistent, deep, and intense practice, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. So are you ready to become a better dribbler? Do you want to try the 21-day dribbling challenge yourself? Check the link in the description below to learn more. Alrighty, that's all I got for you today. I'm Jordan from Boost Football, and remember, your dreams won't work if you don't, so get out there and get to it. Put in the work. See you next time.